for both of you, just share your range of emotions that you're experiencing ahead of playing in Australia as they host the World Cup. Tony?
Me?
Yes. Go Sam.
Yeah, really excited. I think, we've been waiting for this moment for a long time, so it's nice that it's finally here, to come to this stadium and kind of have the realisation that we really have brought the Women's World Cup to Australia is a really proud moment for all of us. But at the moment, we're just excited. We've been ready to go all week, so we can't wait to get started tomorrow.
Yeah, we spoke about that, Sam and me coming up here. It felt a bit unreal. It's actually happening tomorrow. All the prep work that we've done for years, all the days of hard work, and now it's finally coming together in 24 hours. So a good night's sleep now, and then off we go tomorrow. I can't wait.
Okay, first question right here.
Tony, firstly, do you have fitness updates on a couple of key players? But secondly, half of this squad played at the 2015 World Cup. Like, you inherited a uniquely cohesive group. What have you tried to do differently over the last 2.5 years that you've been here? Rather than, there's not been wholesale changes, but how have you tried to help this squad take that final step towards actually winning a World Cup?
Yeah, it's having them understand how good they are, just play off of their strength. The identity of the team was here already before I arrived. They've been playing together for years, and it's just as a coach, getting to know players and how to get the most out of them, play them in the right position with the right mindset, with the right people around them. That's what we've been focused on. And then these players have been amazing in terms of embracing new generation of players as well. So we have a perfect mix of experience and youth going into this World Cup.
Right there.
Hello, Sam. It's Valentina Peña for W Radio Colombia. I wanted to ask you, you guys, the Matildas, have been on a good streak, only losing one match of the last 10. I wanted to ask you if this kind, of favoritism, not only in the group, but in the whole World Cup, how it can play for you. You think it might be something that play against you, or how you can use it in your favor? Thank you.
Oh, well, I think the way we use it in our favour, firstly, is the confidence we've gained from not only the results, but playing multiple people in multiple positions. We've had lots of injuries over those games too. So I think, the results obviously for us felt really good, but what felt even better is getting people playing in different positions, getting lots of people back. I think we beat England with 4 or 5 of our regular starters out, so gaining more depth. But no, I think in football it's a funny game. You're only as good as your last result. So we're not one to get too ahead of ourselves. We know that the World Cup is different and you have to rock up on the day. So we'll be ready, and that's what we've been preparing for the last year. It's not about how we've performed in the last few games.
Right there.
Question for Sam. Anna Harrington, Australian Associated Press. Sam, it seems likely that Ireland will sit back against this attack tomorrow. How do you handle that? How do you break through it and avoid maybe getting impatient and frustrated if it takes a while to hit the back of the net, I suppose?
Yeah, I think we just play our game. I think we've watched some of their previous games when they played the US, but it's about us tomorrow. It's not about anyone else, and we need to make sure that we're on top of our game. Obviously, every team brings new challenges, but it's about us tomorrow. If we play our game, we play our way, we just adapt to what comes at us, and obviously we have a lot of respect for Ireland. They've had some good results lately, so we have to be really respectful of that, but at the same time, it's about us tomorrow.
Right here.
Tony, Adam Peacock from 7 Network. About the fitness updates, if you could update us on that, and also probably don't expect a straight answer here, but do you know you're 11?
I do.
Care to share it? We won't tell anyone.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Trust you on that.
Thanks.
But not only do we know the starting 11, we also know the thoughts we have in terms of game changes and plan for a finishing 11. We have an idea what we think this game is going to look like. If you look at the games that Ireland have played as of late against top team, there's no coincidence that they have been really, really strong in the beginning of both the first and second half. But there's also no coincidence that have conceded goals late in the halves, especially when it comes to some of the tactics on 1 or 2 players and 1 or 2 behaviors that we have identified that we hope we can strike against tomorrow. I'm not going to say what, but there's a clear trend there that we target. And then in terms of the roster, it's all about 90 minutes. So again, I just want to say how important it is for this team to win games off the bench like we did against France when it was 0-0 and players comes off the bench and be game changer for us. So the finishing 11 is as important as the starting 11 for us. And in terms of fitness updates, I can't reveal that at this time. I know where we're at, but I can't at this time give away too much. I keep it close to my chest for today.
Right there.
Hello, Anton Johansson from Sportbladet, Sweden. I was wondering about the Cathy Freeman visit. Tony, was that your idea, or how did that come up? And Sam, since she's a role model for you, how was that?
Well, first of all, knowing how much she means for these players and they share some of the bigger whys behind what they do and what they want to achieve, it was a natural to try to get a connection and a personal connection for them. And I want to thank all my support staff for making that happen as well. And in terms of the visit, I'll leave that to Sam.
Yeah, I think obviously Cathy's an amazing person and athlete in this country. So for us, I mean, for me, I don't really get starstruck, but when Cathy walked in the room, I was pretty starstruck, to be honest, because she has such a presence. But yeah, it was just honestly just a relaxing night. There was nothing special about it other than the fact that Cathy came and talked to us, because she made us feel like we had known her for years. That's just the kind of person she is. So we honestly just sat in a room, chatted, had dinner. But, you know, what she said to us and what she spoke to us about will stick with us forever, I think.
Right back there.
Hi Sam, Danny and Tilly from ABC Sport. You've played in a few World Cups, but this is the biggest event since the Sydney Olympics here. The excitement around the nation has been incredible. What's it like for yourself and the team to feel that support from everyone?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, Aussies love their sport, don't they? But to kind of be at home and get the feel for it, walk down the street, see people that are excited or flying around the country to watch us, it's nice to, one, be able to feel the love, but also be able to, we're really proud to bring this World Cup home and let Australia experience kind of what we do all around the world. So yeah, it's amazing. It's something that we're trying to take in our stride. Every time we play at home, we play really well. So hopefully that's how this tournament goes too.
Right there.
Kieran Pender, Guardian Australia. Question for Tony. There's been a lot of talk about the journey the team's been on, the performance gap report, the things you've done to address that. A lot of that may only sound in 3, 4, 5 years' time, but your legacy will be defined by the next 4 weeks. How do you feel about that sort of tension between the long term and what the next 4 weeks means to the country?
Well, I hope in 10, or if you're talking the word legacy, is probably when you look 10 to 20 years back in time, right? So in 10 to 20 years back in time, I hope my legacy is not just this tournament. I hope it's bigger than that, so to speak. Not that the World Cup's not big enough, but it's a journey of 4 years, and I had the privilege to work with these amazing players and what they have already achieved in terms of growing the game and be a role model and inspire the next generation, and also the fact that we brought in a lot of youth and young players in this national team that I think can be here for another decade. It's also something I'm already really proud of. But like Sam just said, we're judged by our last game. So after tomorrow, I'm either going to be a phenomenal coach, or I'm going to be the worst coach that ever coached the Matildas. That's just how the business works. We know that. But right now, all the preparation have come down to one thing. We want to try to perform the best we can against Ireland tomorrow, and that's where our focus is right now. Whether that prep work was 2 weeks or 2 years, it's all about the game tomorrow.
Back there.
Hi to you both. Luke Doherty from Fox Sports News. Just in terms of the crowd, it was evident how excited it was making you even just going out there for the familiarisation session. As coach, to you, Tony, do you have to or want to control how the players process walking out into that wall of noise tomorrow night? And Sam, for you as skipper, have you spoken amongst the players about how you will deal with that moment, walking out, the crowd seeing you, the anthem playing, and everything that follows?
You go first.
I think some of these players I don't need to talk to. They are experienced, they're strong mentally, they've experienced similar situation, even though it's unique to be in your home country. I think the dress rehearsal against France with 50,000 in the stands was massive for us for a mental preparation. Some of the players shared their stories, how they felt the first 10-15 minutes and how they felt when they stepped off the pitch. Claire Hunt, for example, said herself that took about 50 minutes to get into it mentally, and then once she got settled and said, okay, I'm good, she felt really good about being really excited about tomorrow now instead of just nervous. So some players needs to talk about it, some players are just ready for it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm really excited. I love playing in front of packed stadiums, but I think as a team, it's it's going to go up and down. We have to just live in the moment, and we kind of spoke about it briefly today. It's okay to feel nervous or okay to kind of get overawed by the crowd, because that's life, that's football. Like, we can talk about it, but it's about being in the moment and supporting one another. And like Tony said, 50,000 the other day was amazing, and I thought that we dealt with it really well. And yeah, I think everyone's more looking forward to it than nervous about the crowd. Everyone knows that they're on our side, so it's nice when you know they're going to be cheering you on rather than booing you.
Jessica Crichton, Sky Sports. Sam, you've played at the top level for so long, so I suppose you're used to a certain level of expectation on you. But how does it compare being the poster girl for a home World Cup? And secondly, how difficult has it been to block out all the noise and just focus on doing you?
Yeah, I think, I guess for me, the expectations kind of been growing over the 4 years. So it's been something I've learnt to deal with. I think I've really enjoyed it. It's something I've said multiple times here tonight, that I'm really proud, that we've got a home World Cup. So to be a part of this journey is amazing, and I'm really, really excited for it. But of course, everyone in Australia has a lot of expectations, but it's something I take in my stride, and I try and just enjoy. And I think back at Chelsea, I've done that too. I've just enjoyed it, and that's when I'm at my best me. So for me, it's about enjoying it, and, expectation and all of that just comes from outside noise. I know what's expected of me from the coach and my team, and that's all that really matters right now. Thank you.
Zeke Palermo, Associated Press. Sam, what kind of impact do you think hosting the World Cup is going to have on the grassroots game here?
You can't really grasp what it's going to have. I think, for years to come, this will be talked about, hopefully decades to come. But yeah, I mean, you can see the impact it's already had on grassroots and young girls coming to our games, young boys too. And hopefully with the success of the tournament, it only gets bigger and better. You saw what's happened in England with the Euros, so hopefully we can replicate that. But I think what this tournament can do for Australia and football in Australia is, can't imagine right now.
Hey Sam, Laura Spurway from Channel 7. I got to ask you about the somersaults and the backflips, because I know you've talked about this in the past, and it makes coaching staff a little bit antsy. So what's the feeling with doing that kind of thing if the moment takes you? Tony, do you say, can you just turn it down a notch? Do you go for it? What are the discussions about that?
There's no discussions. I think, I've always said whenever I do a backflip, it's not planned. So hopefully the games are a bit more cruisy and I don't have to do it till later on in the tournament. But no, it's just a bit of fun. It's about entertainment and having fun and showing what football's about. And, maybe it might, maybe it won't, but it'll all be safe, I promise you.
Doesn't worry you, Tony?
No comments.
Yeah. Back there. Other questions? Right up there.
Hi, Paul Rowan here from the Times. Sam, do you think that Australia has to win the competition, do really well for that kind of legacy effect of the grassroots to actually happen? If Australia slips up, will the country look elsewhere in terms of our models and that type of thing?
No, I think the legacy's already been made by bringing this World Cup here. I think you've already seen what this hosting this tournament has done for the country, and everyone's here to win, but the legacy will not be defined with what the grassroots and all of that by how this tournament goes. We're Australian, we'll do everything we can, but I think having your legacy defined, like Tony said, for the grassroots in this 4 weeks, it's a bit harsh in my opinion.
How confident are you of winning the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's here to win, so I I'll keep my cards close to my chest, but we're really confident. But for us, it's just about the first game. Ireland's the most important, and right now we're playing that game with no other game in mind, so that's our final at this point.
Hi, it's Manny Jasmine from BBC. Question to you, Tony. You've been around a bit. Why do you think no home team has won the World Cup for 24 years?
Oh, that's a big question. A good one. Might be multiple reasons, but what we do know in this tournament that there's a lot of teams that can win the tournament. If you look at the quality of the team, just look at the Euros last year, how tight it was and how many extremely good teams that can win, and you need to get it right on the day. Player availability, get a goalkeeper that having the tournament of her life, getting a goal scorer that scores the most goals, like all the winning teams, get some consistency in lineup in terms of player availability, all those sorts of things. And then probably, I think you reference maybe to a little bit of the mental side of things, playing on home soil, how people handle that, whether they use it as pressure or if they use it as belief and support. And that's something we've talked a lot about, that we feel the support. Like when we played with 50,000 against France, we felt the support and we felt the belief, much more so than feeling pressured.
Thank you.
One last question right there.
Clay Witt, Associated Press. Sam, I don't know if you saw, but President Infantino's comments today that he hasn't watched your guys' video and can't really be bothered about the like your guys' call for equal pay in the prize pool for women's and men's tournaments. I just want to know your response to what he said about that.
I haven't been on the internet, so I haven't seen that, but that video was made so that, you know, during the tournament we can focus on football.